wanna say money, on the best tech, value tech sense, value tech sense. Welcome to another video. We are going to get into some settings. All right, I got a few settings for y'all that I think will help you if you just bought this new Vizio. Now, I can't say how this will work with the M8s or the bigger M7s. You can try them out, but they definitely work really good, and they give you a lot of depth. They give you that HDR three-dimensional look. All right, this is a movie on Netflix. It's called Dangerous Lies. The movie, I mean, it's okay. It's an okay movie, but the HDR in it, the colors are, I mean, they just pop. They really give you a lot of depth. And it's in Dolby Vision. So the first setting I want to give you is my Dolby Vision setting. But one of the things that you got to do when you get your Vizio, all right, before you get into the picture settings, is go down to System, go to this power mode, and make sure that's on Quick Start. That's all you have to do on this one. All right, so go into your system settings, make sure your power mode is on Quick Start from Eco. That way the TVs will be as bright as it can get. It'll work at its highest capacity on Quick Start. That way you can get everything that you can expect out of the TV. All right, change that to Quick Start. All right, and then we can just get right into the picture settings. All right, nothing else to change after that. So these are my Dolby Vision picture settings. So if you're watching anything in Dolby Vision, you're watching Dolby Vision, Netflix, anything dealing with Dolby Vision, these are the settings that I have come up with. So first we'll start off with the tone mapping. And this tone mapping, it only comes up when you're doing HDR. All right, when you're in HDR, you can go into this tone mapping, and it'll be an option for you in picture settings. If you're not in HDR, then this won't show up. I think it says backlight if you're not in HDR. But this is a good feature to be able to actually, it's on 65. I'm just going to move it around real quick, but you can actually see that. You can actually dial in your HDR. That is, I mean, that's amazing to me, to be able to do that, to have the option to actually customize your HDR experience. So anyway, tone mapping is on 65. The brightness is on 47. Contrast on 52. Color on 60. Tint 0. I have my sharpness on 12. Color temperature's normal. Picture aspects normal. That's going to stay the same. Let's go to advanced picture. Okay, black detail, I have that set to off. Edge enhancement is off. Active full array is on high. Motion control, clear action is set to on. All right, clear action is on. Reduce noise, all of that is off on my Dolby Vision setting. All right, film mode is on. That way the TV detects 24p content. It will go into film mode to match the frame rate to give you smoother motion. I do notice a bit more judder on this TV than my old M8. All right, my eyes are very sensitive to motion. Motion is just one of those things that could potentially be a deal breaker for me because I'm so sensitive to it. You know, it's like somebody scratching a chalkboard. when I see motion artifacts. But this TV does not have artifacts, but there is in panning shots, you do get a little bit of ringing, a little judder effect, all right, on certain parts. For the most part, it's very smooth, but my eyes are very sensitive to it. And it does have a little more judder than the last one, from what I can see on this 50-inch. All right, my gamma's at 1.8. And I have this enhanced viewing angle set to on. All right, so enhanced viewing angle, I've played with it. It kind of dims the picture just a tad, but it does help out with the angle viewing. All right, it does help that out. And that is my Dolby Vision settings. All right, something else to note, a little hack, if you will. If you have an Xbox One X, or if you're watching you're watching your Netflix through your PS4 Pro, because you're using your gaming console, you're actually able to engage the Pro gaming engine. So if I was watching this on, say, if I was watching this through the Xbox, I could actually go into the Pro gaming engine and turn on the HDR, and it'll give me even more highlight pop. So, I mean, I don't know if that was the intention. I know it was for gaming, but if you're watching this through a gaming console, you can actually engage the Pro gaming engine and add more pop and more flair to the image. I think I'll just go ahead and show y'all that while I'm here, and we'll get back into the rest of the settings. Okay, so we're back on the same scene, and we're actually watching this through the PS4 Pro right now. And one of the cool things about this TV, all right, call it a hack. I had a hack on the MA from last year. Here's another one for you, all right. If you're watching movies through your gaming console, and I want y'all to see this, I can actually engage the Pro gaming engine. You see that? Variable refresh rates don't work on the PS4 Pro. I just leave it to on. It's not going to work anyway. But your game HDR. Now watch this when I turn it on. See that? Let me get closer, man, so I can show you this, because this is a dope feature, man. I can't wait to get this on a P Series Quantum X with all those nits and all those dimming zones. Now look at this. You see the scene right there. Let me turn it on. Off. Get a little closer so you can see what's happening. So these highlights right here, these highlights, when I have it off, that's what that light looks like. When I turn it on, see how it's brightening it up? Because it really brightens the highlights. And then also when you turn it on, right, you turn that HDR, that game HDR on, it's going to add some flair to your highlights. Then you can go back to this tone mapping, and I can really juice up those highlights. I can tone it down, or I can juice those highlights all the way up. So with that tone mapping, with the tone mapping set to 100, you'll really be able to see the difference when I go into that game engine and I engage this HDR. So it's on right now. Let me turn it off. On, off. That's really, I mean, that's really good, man, to be able to actually go in here and customize your HDR experience. So if you're watching through a game console, you definitely have more options as far as adding more pop and more depth to your HDR10 settings. All right. Tone mapping is on 36. Brightness 50. All right. Contrast is on 56. Color is on 55. Tint 0. Sharpness is on 12. Color temperature is cool. Picture aspects are normal. We don't worry about changing that. Black detail, I actually have it on high. I have it on high. You can play with this, or you can just shut it off. I had it on high, but I liked it on high. But I would set it to medium, just to give you a little median. Usually, I spend a lot more time with the TV before I actually do a settings video, so I can give you a setting that'll work no matter what you're watching. Because I'm someone that'll change picture settings like all day, every day. All right, just trying to get the perfect picture. But initially, this is a good setting. I would put the black detail on medium just to give you a little median of a good place to start. All right, edge enhancement is off. Local contrast, I have that set to high. All right, set to high. Active full array on high. Motion control. Now, since we are on the, since we're in the PS4 and since I have the VRR in the gaming engine set to on, you can't engage your clear action. But on your PS4 Pro, there's no need for this to be on. So variable refresh rates, you can just turn that off. I'm doing this live so y'all can, you know, not just get the settings, but you get an understanding of what's going on too with the settings. All right, but you turn that to off, and you can engage your clear action that way. All right, so you can go in there and let's go back. Motion control. Now the clear action is on. Like I said, it definitely dims the picture. It definitely dims the picture a lot more than it did last year. And you can lift this if you want. I would probably suggest leaving it off because your film mode is engaged. Film mode is on, and this should match your frame rate. I would suggest actually leaving that clear action off if you're doing this through a PS4. All right. I wouldn't even turn the clear action on. I love clear action, but last year it just didn't dim the picture that much, and I didn't really go in there, turn it on, and lift everything. All right, you can turn this clear action on and actually go in here and start to lift the image back up. You know, you can turn this on and go into the picture settings and start to actually bring back the brightness. Right. You can lift it, but that's not what you want to do. You want to keep it where you have depth. But anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. All right. Motion control. Let's just go ahead and turn that off. Reduce noise. All these are set to high. Film mode, that's set to on. And the gamma is on 2.4. Enhanced viewing angle is set to on. But like I said, I've been messing around with these settings, seeing how this looks over here, seeing how that looks over there. This reduce noise feature right here, basically, you really only need this stuff right here if you're watching low content, low quality content. But everything through Netflix, pretty much, it's compressed, but it's not as compressed as YouTube. But for my people out there with the upscaling, if you turn all these on high, if you want to get rid of all that digital noise, digital interference, all that macro blocking, stuff like that, you will leave this up. If you're on YouTube and you're watching videos and you see that little digital noise and stuff, these right here set to high cleans that up. So that's why these are on high. All right. You're not going to get any. I didn't do this on Dolby Vision because you're not going to get this on Dolby Vision. They don't have any Dolby Vision. I mean, they have a little Dolby Vision content on YouTube, but not really. All right. Most of your YouTube stuff is going to be HDR10 or it's going to be HLG. All right. But this stuff right here, you leave these set to high and it'll get rid of some of that interference. But those are my, that's my HDR10 settings. All right, now this is there's a channel on YouTube where you can go rewatch NFL games. You can rewatch sports games and stuff like that. These show in 720p. All right, in 720p. There is a sports mode on here. That's let's see, let's go to it real quick. This is called Pro Sports. I came up with my own, but they do have a sports mode. All right, but I came up with one, I called it Pro Sports. And what I did, because a lot of this is in 720p, and I imagine a lot of y'all will be watching this on your cable TV. So these settings, I pretty much did them based off of like I would if I was doing some Pluto settings or some watch free settings. All right, but these are my sports settings. Y'all that have this TV, y'all feel free to chime into the comments section. Let people know how it performs as far as cable TV is concerned. All right, that's why we make videos. That's why we create platforms so we can all come together, share information. You know, I go to YouTube videos. Sometimes I click on videos just for the comment section. All right, sometimes I go in there just to see has anybody even bought this TV, how they feel about the upscaling, how does it work with their setup, because I don't have cable. So if you have cable, right, or if you're watching sports, these are my Pro Sports settings. All right, let's get into it. I got my backlight on 85, brightness on 55, contrast on 47, color at 45, tint 0, sharpness at 35, color temperatures on normal, picture aspect, don't worry about changing that, that's on normal. Advanced picture, black detail is set to off. Super resolution, high. Edge enhancement, high. Local contrast, high. I got all the processing going on the 720p content. All right. Active full array, I have that on medium. Motion control is off. All right. Now, I usually use clear action. Clear action, it'd be a perfect time to use clear action for sports, right? But as you can see, it definitely dims the picture. But it doesn't dim it too much. But if you want smoother motion, which you will want when you're watching sports, I suggest you turn this to on. All right. But I did leave it off because I was testing it out, watching different things, turning it on and off. All right. So the last time I was messing with this, I had it off. But I would recommend that you turn that to on if you're watching sports, so it helps with the motion. All right, let's keep going. Reduce noise, I have all these set to high. Signal noise on high, block noise on high, contour smoothing on high. All right, that way your cable sources, it can clean that up as much as it can to make it look as clear as it can. You know, you want it to all that upscaling stuff, that's turning all that on high. All right, engaging those features. Film mode, I have that set to on. This you can actually turn off, but it was set to on, but you turn this off because your sports and stuff like that is not in 24p. All right, by default this was set to on, and sometimes when I'm doing settings, I'm just switching it back and forth, trying to see what's going on with the TV. But my suggestion is to have the clear action set to on and have this film mode set to off. All right. Now the gamma I have on 2.4, even though the clear action dims the picture, you can actually change the gamma and brighten it up. So that's on 1.8 gamma, but I had mine on 2.4 because I like the contrast. I like to have a little more contrast. All right, and you're kind of limited with how much contrast you can get out of a TV with 16 local dimming zones. So I have this on 2.4 to bring out more contrast, give me more depth, give me a richer picture. All right, and the enhanced viewing angle, I have that set to on. I have that set to on. Now, this is my Pro Sports setting, so that's for sports. These other settings that I came up with, I'll tell you, my HDR10 setting, I use that pretty much for everything. I use that when I'm playing Xbox One X, whether I'm gaming in HDR or not in HDR. I use that HDR10 setting for the Xbox One X, and I use it for the PS4 Pro. Okay, so I didn't do separate settings for those. If you're watching cable, this is what I would recommend. I'll go ahead and give you my watch-free settings. Backlight 85, brightness 47, contrast 57, color 55, tint 0, sharpness on 30, color temperature is normal, picture aspect normal. Go to advanced picture, black detail is off, super resolution is on high, edge enhancement on high, local contrast is on low, active full array on high, motion control clear action is on, reduce noise, everything is set to high. All right, signal noise on high, block noise on high, contour smoothing on high. All right, film mode is set to on, but you know, if you're watching film, if you're watching movies or something like that, if you're watching a Pluto TV, there's a lot of movies on there. I have that set to on. But if you're watching sports or something like that, then you can turn that off. Okay, this is for 24p content. It's for movie content. So there's a lot of movies on Pluto. When there's movies on there, I turn that on. If I'm watching something that's not a movie, like if you're watching game shows and stuff like that, you know, you can turn that to off. But a lot of your cable sources, your cable boxes, they're going to be in 60 hertz. They're going to be 1080p 60, right? Or they'll be 4K 60. But if you're watching a movie, you can turn this on and it should help with that. I got the gamma on 1.8 and enhanced viewing angle, I have it set to on. All right. This is Pluto TV Warm. This will give you that warm tone. All right. So Pluto TV Warm, backlight 85, brightness 45, contrast 55, color 55, tint 0, sharpness on 30, color temperatures on warm, picture aspect normal, advanced settings will go to black detail is off, super resolutions on high, edge enhancements on high, local contrast I have this set to off, but I would just leave that on off on this one because this warm tone, it kind of darkened the image a bit, but it gave it that warmth for y'all that like that warm tone. All right, active full array on high. Motion control clear action is on. If you turn this off, it'll definitely get brighter. All right. So if you're watching sports or something like that, you can turn this on, but you can also turn this off, and that'll give you a brighter picture. All right. But it's supposed to help with your motion. And on this one, this Vizio right here, that I'm definitely seeing a little bit more judder than I saw on my MA from last year. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that improves in the future. Reduce noise. I have signal noise on low, block noise on low, and contour smoothing on high. But I would actually tell you real time to turn these on high. All right. All this is going to do is engage the picture processing. All right. I turn these on different settings and switch between settings to see if I can really see the difference that it makes. And it does make a difference. All right, film mode, I already explained that to y'all, when to use it, off or on. And gamma is on 2.4. Enhanced viewing angle is set to on. All right, so those are the picture settings that I've come up with so far for this TV. Something else that's new on here, if you go into the audio settings, they have a surround sound option that you can turn off or on, and they have a virtual X option. All right, so you can go surround sound off, you go surround sound on, and you can go with this virtual X thing that kind of gives you like a spatial audio right out of the TV. Then you got this volume leveling, balance, lip sync, digital audio out, analog out, dialogue enhancer. I have this set on high. What it's going to do is when people are talking or the speech part of whatever you're watching, it's going to really push that out, right? So if there's a noisy street and you're watching a movie and people are talking in the movie, the background is not going to overshadow the voice or the dialogue that's going on in the movie. I have that set on high. And here is your eARC right here that you can turn on if you have like a Dolby Atmos soundbar or something like that. But that's pretty much the settings. As far as surround sound, I just set it to on. You can play with this if you want. While this is on, if you're flipping through menus, you will hear some kind of echo going on back there, but it doesn't do it when you're watching movies. All right, but those are the picture settings. All right, so I hope those help y'all out. All y'all that's bought these TVs, and see you in another video. Thanks for watching.